There you go. Told you guys. Make the screen bigger. Oh my goodness. Admit all. I keep going. Admit all. A few more. One more minute. Everybody excited. And then I'm just going to get going because we are recording it. For anybody who does need or would like to watch it. So I am so excited. Thank you guys. Margaret and I were talking about a month ago at month end, and we were just like, let's do a call because you guys have worked your freaking fannies off, and we knew the people who are going to want more are going to show up. And that's kind of how we feel. If you're going to show up, we're always going to show up. So I just want to thank you, for taking the time for your business and actually showing up. That's huge. And you need to give yourself those wins and know that that is big. Even if you're like, oh, I was slacking. Well, today's a new day. All right. And not only is today a new day, it's about to be in a new era. I think yesterday in my live, I was like, oh, we have 60 days and 90 days. No, we have 45 days and 75 to 90 days. All right. Which is huge. I think we underestimate, I think many of you, if you haven't thought of it this way, or you haven't heard me say it, what you do over the next 45 to 75 days with your business is going to determine what your business will be a year from now. All right. It is going to determine if you're going to continue to, earn new bonuses, rank up, bring on new people. And honestly, the biggest thing I can give you, and we're going to talk about a few things tonight, but where I'm going to start is it's not even sales right now. Sales are, of course, important. And, we're in this, right? A lot of, making money helps, right? Either way, whatever your why is, like money always is a nice thing. But right now, your focus should be those ABCs. Every ounce of your being should be the ABCs, which is, if you haven't heard it, it's the ask, which we're going to give you exact numbers in a few of how many asks you should be doing a week and all, kind of what you should be working on in your business. All right. So there are certain minimums. There are certain things you absolutely, if you're like, I don't know. No, you have to. And you're like, where do I, and ask, just so you know, and ask is samples, nail bars, the opportunity, referrals. All right. When's the last time you asked for a referral? That was huge. I had like I used to do that all the time, and I forgot. And then I was at the thing with the retreat I did a few weeks ago with Brittany Medkey, and she's like, yeah, or just ask them for referrals. And I'm like, so I get it. Like, I get that sometimes you get in these ruts, you forget these things. Like, these are big. It's a big deal. All right. So being consistent, be consistent. All right. It's 45 days. Remember, it takes 21 days or 3 weeks to make a habit. It takes 90 days or 3 months to make a lifestyle, to make it part of who you are. During this time, you could truly make these habits part. Can you imagine that before you even get makeup in your hands? You have that time frame to truly make this part of, what your business is going to look like. All right. And then connect. And this is the big one. The big one, they're all big. They're all just as important. The ask, if you don't ask, none of them, they all fall apart. Without asking, like, you can connect all day long. If you don't ask, you think they're just going to magically come to you? That doesn't happen. Like, let's be real. That's a one in a lifetime. We all get that one or two, and they're really great usually, but that's not how this business works. People, you have to ask. Like, I had a mentor, one of my first mentors in this industry said to me, have you told them? Have you asked people, like, have you told them you want to grow a team? Did you ask? Like, people aren't going to just assume because you love it that that's what you really are wanting to do, or that they're just going to come running. So without the ask, the rest don't count. Being consistent is what makes the ask, and the connect truly gives it that foundation. But the connection, and that is that building relationships, okay? Growing the ones you already have. So you want to not only grow the amazing relationships you've already started with customers, your network, your whatever you want to call it, your community, people, whatnot. It's building new ones, finding new ones. And there are no excuses. Even if you can't leave your house, there's still no excuses. There are so many different ways, and the resources are out there and the trainings are out there. You have to go and you have to get this product on people. That's it. That is it. And that's the same thing with the nail care. Do you want to sell a $12 strip, or do you want to sell a $50 nail care bundle? Do you know how people are going to buy a $50 nail care bundle? You're going to put it on their hands. You know how you're going to do that? You're going to go out. You're going to say, hey, customers, all my local girls, I'm going to be at Starbucks between 12 and 1 on Saturday. Come see me. I'll be there with the pink drink. All right. And the fun goodies on my table, like whatever. It doesn't have to be complicated. And I think that is the big thing. And those connections, those relationships, they're everything. I think Margaret being on here is one of the best examples. Margaret was in my network. Like we were in a like mom, crunchy doll, like random world together. And it wasn't until, but she slowly watched me, but then you start building and you watch these, and you build these relationships over time. She'd known me for years. I had started a whole direct sales. I was in direct sales for 2 years, and she watched, but that's the thing, you nourish, you never know. So don't ever think a no is an actual no, just for one thing. But you have to get to know these people. You have to be in their DMs. You have to have real conversations with them. You need to compliment them. You need to ask them questions. You need to be interested. You need to remember things, and if you don't have a good memory, you're going to do what Monica used to do. And she had this little notebook that she sat on her desk. And when her customers would tell her their dog's name, I would be like, Jennifer, dog's name is Pumpkin, daughter is Riley, favorite color blue. It's everything. Like, that's what I did. That's what I did for the first a long time. Hold on. Making sure nobody's waiting in the thing. Sorry. I keep on like trying to do the thing. So want to just go, I'm going to go over just some of the things, and I want to make sure that just the basics, and I'm going to let Margaret do her magic. So I think, again, we overcomplicate this business so much. So it is work, but it's truly simple concepts of what you need to do. So these are from Color Street. This is from their actual like black and white. They wrote down kind of per rank. So a senior stylist and elite stylist works approximately, and this is through polls and statistics, and they did a lot of things to get these numbers. Monica didn't pull these out of her butt. So these are from Color Street. 5 to 8 hours a week usually is the average senior stylist to elite stylist. Okay. What are you doing at these ranks? Nail bars of some sort, in person, affiliate links, Facebook, Canva, whatever it is, text parties, messenger parties, the nail bars. All right. Color 10. When's the last time you did a Frank's list? Besides Jen S, because she's shown up to both of our power half hours. She's going to put that out there to the world. I know not all of you got the invite. I'm sorry. I should be nice, but I'm just saying she's redone that Frank's list and she's been killing it with it. So if you haven't had a conversation or a night with Frank, you really should, because I don't care if you even did it 30 days ago, it has changed. You are always meeting new people. And think of friends of friends, or family of family. All right. Don't just think this. Think like this. Open it up. Stretch it. Think of that person down the road that you always see. She wears the cute pink shirts and you're like, I wonder where she gets those. Go find out. Okay. Go connect with her. Go build a relationship. Those are the things. So color 10, VIP maintenance. All right. I think your VIP, of course, is important. You're putting too much emphasis on it. Your VIP, the number one thing about your VIP is that's where you're building connections. If you're using your VIP to think that sales is, my VIP looks quiet half the time, because a lot of the times I'm talking to these people in the back end because I'm building connections with them. I'm building relationships with them. And that is more important every single day than a $10 sale, $12 sale, whatever. So that is a big thing. Your VIPs are important to an extent. If you have 5 hours a week, and you're putting more than 1 hour into your VIP, you need to relook at how you're doing your business. I'm going to repeat that. If you're working 1 hour a day, Monday through Friday, and you're spending more than 1 day a week working on that VIP, doing your, posting, unless you're doing a live sale, that, let's say you're doing a live party. I know some people do VIP nail bars in their VIP. It's been very successful, which is fantastic. Unless it's that, your VIP should be that 1 hour. What is it, like 20%? Margaret, she does the numbers for me. I gave up numbers when I started Color Street. I gave them up. I gave up the finance brain. All right, really, I mean that. The rest of the time, you should be finding new people. You should be giving samples out. You should be connecting and then sharing the opportunity. Sharing the opportunity. And they aren't going to know unless you tell them. They're not going to know unless you ask. What are they going to do? Say no? What's the worst thing they're going to do? They're going to tell you no? Okay. How many times has your toddler told you no today? All right. How many times has your pet looked at you and clearly said no, even if they didn't say no? All right. We get no all the time and we think it's cute and go, ha, ha, ha. It's cute and ha, ha, ha. You keep going. It doesn't stop you. All right. Then when you get to that team builder, team leader, approximately 5 to 12 hours. So it can increase, now you have somebody under you. You're doing the same exact thing. The only thing you're really adding is onboarding a stylist and helping them reach those goals and jump starts. Okay. Up until that team leader level, that's what you should be doing. If you are spending, again, you have 5 hours, let's say you do only have 5 hours a week and you're spending more than 30 minutes with your, and this matters how many people, but if you have, let's say 2 people underneath you, you should be doing a weekly check-in with them. Absolutely. You should, especially at the beginning of the month, making sure you ask them their goals and ask them their action steps. Don't give them action steps. You should be asking each other the action steps. Let them figure it out, because if you're spoon feeding these new people as they come on, guess what? It's never going to stop. It's never, ever, ever going to stop. And then it's going to become a time suck. You're going to get exhausted. And then when they leave, you're literally going to go, because retention in this business is real. It's just par for the course. All right. You need to work your personal business. That is gold. So I'm going to do the numbers at the end, where Margaret and I talked about some numbers, some minimums. I'm going to pause it, go crunch into some ice, listen to, oh, did she leave? Did I lose her? Oh no, there she is. I'm sorry. I'm like, oh fuck, I screwed that up. Sorry. It's after 9, I can swear. So I'm going to let her give you all the goodness, catch up on the things. And
no, I had to put the dog out of the room because he was mauling me, if any of you saw that, and he was trying to eat sticky notes out of my trash and just be a general pest. So he had to go, and I heard kids in the background, so I'm like, oh, I gotta shut this door. Okay, so I think Monica already gave you guys such good stuff. I hope you're taking lots of notes. I'm so excited to see all of you on here, and that all of you qualified for this call and are spending the time and investing in yourselves and your business. And I know that you're going to leave with some great action steps and hopefully like a little bit of a mindset shift. And that's what I want to talk to you about. So I want to talk to you guys about hope. So I think most people know, but if not, very briefly, my son had a mountain biking accident the day after Thanksgiving, and he broke 2 vertebrae in his back and had a spinal cord injury, which immediately made him a paraplegic. So at that time, which I don't even think we knew it then, what had happened and whatever. But at that time in the hospital, after his 7-hour surgery, when we moved from the ICU to the regular room, we had a choice. Like we could always say, and this doesn't just apply to us in catastrophes that we might deal with. This applies to us every single day. We can sit back and we can say, I hope he gets better. Or we can say, what do I need to do to make this the most successful it can be? And so at that time, we decided that we were going to go to this special rehabilitation center in Atlanta, Georgia, called the Shepherd Center. We had to get in. So I decided first that we were going before anything else. I didn't know about insurance. I didn't know if they would take him. I didn't know if they had availability. I knew nothing, but I knew that I was going to get him in there. I didn't hope. I knew I was going to do whatever it took. And I did. And we figured out, and we would be here all night if I tried to tell you all the hoops I jumped through. I filled an entire notebook We had lawyers. It was crazy. Like it was nuts trying to get all the pieces in place for him to get there. They were wonderful, but it was all the other things. But the point is I did it because I knew that it was going to happen. I didn't sit back and say, I hope it works out. I hope all the pieces fall together. It was, I am going to make this happen because this was not a question for us. Right. And still to this day, we don't sit back and say, well, I hope he regains everything. He's doing everything he can with physical therapy and rehabilitation and meeting with lots of doctors and trying lots of things he probably doesn't want to do, because we want to set him up in the best position to be the most successful. And I know that that's a lot different than probably anything you're dealing with in your life or in your business. Hopefully, like you're not dealing with a catastrophe like that. But I see so many similarities between that kind of mindset and kind of what I'm hearing from different people. I've read and heard a lot of, I hope my sale goes well. I hope this nail bar is okay. I hope I get a booking. And what I'm here to say from a whole lot of experience is, if all you're doing is hoping without taking the action, what happens if that doesn't pan out? If what you're hoping for doesn't pan out, you still suffer the emotional letdown of a failure without putting any effort into your success. I'm going to say that again. And the dog is scratching at the door and he's in. So we'll see how this goes. You still experience the emotional letdown of a failure without putting any effort in towards your success. You're hoping. That means you're setting this goal, but are you taking the actions you need to get there? How ludicrous would it be if your child or yourself or your husband or someone you love got hurt and you didn't do everything you could to ensure that they would have the best advantage to rehabilitate to the maximum state that they could? That sounds crazy to us, right? I'd love to see some comments like that sounds crazy, because I don't want to be alone in that. But like when it comes to that kind of stuff, that sounds crazy, because we want our people to be healthy and we want our people to be happy and whole. Okay, but what about us? Don't we want ourselves to be healthy, happy, and whole as well? And is that something that we're willing to just hope for? Or is that something that we are willing to work for and assess these things as our goals and take action and not leave it up to a hope that requires nothing of us, but completely can have the emotional impact in a negative way, even when we're not putting in our effort? And what happens then, I call it the fear of hope, but it's this cyclical thing, because then you'll get scared to hope, which means you're scared to dream, which means you don't goal set. And it is a cyclical thing. You can spend time later and think about it, but it is all comes down to the fact that we spend time hoping instead of acting. And we take the brunt of that failure when we did nothing, but it was supposed to fall in our laps and it didn't. Oh, I'm so disappointed. We feel the disappointment, but we did nothing. Why do we feel entitled to have sales and have all this stuff happen if we're not doing the things and taking the steps? So what I want to say is, when you find yourself thinking about, well, I hope this goes well, I want you to remind yourself that you deserve to be happy and healthy and whole, and that it's more than just hoping that you need to take the actions. And it is a very, very simple, just like Monica said, this is not a difficult business. It is simple steps done consistently. I love her ABC analogy. So the next time you find yourself hoping, say, nope, that's not what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to my goals and I'm going to take actions to make sure that the outcome I want is what I have, because it is a non-negotiable that I am going to work for my happiness, my health, and my wholeness. And this is in alignment with that. And therefore, I will take whatever actions are necessary. And so through that, we want to get bookings. We want to meet new people, which having nail bars or workshops or vendor events or sip-in shops or setting up at Starbucks or any of these millions of things is going to give us new contacts. So we can hope they come to us, but we can also go to them. We need to create a vehicle where we're going to meet these people, not just hope they fall out of the sky into our inbox. We are going to work to book these events, right? We're going to contact people to make sure that we have these opportunities. And then we're going to do follow-ups with the people that have purchased for us before. And like Monica said, ask if they have a referral. If they don't need to shop right now and it's not the right time for them to have a workshop or come to something or bring a friend to something, could they refer someone who might be interested? Maybe their referral turns into your next hostess. And then I love the connection that she talked about too. And just to kind of like side note that, Monica might have been connecting from like a thought of, I am going to connect and expand my network. But to me, it never felt that way. To me, it felt like, even though like this is someone I'm watching, but like I feel this kindred connection with her. And I feel like because she was open to that, we connected as friends as well. So we can go into this thinking, this is going to be great. It's going to expand our businesses. And I think the thing that will be surprising for you is that it will expand your relationships and enrich your life completely outside of business, because you will have these connections that make you a better person. And these people that you can talk to about anything at any time, just because you were open to that. You were open to like finding connection online. That completely transcends Color Street. When Monica and I met, it was before she ever even did her first social selling thing. And then when she did her first one, I would follow her and buy from her every once in a while, but that wasn't like, I wasn't like her top customer or anybody that like would be on her like balance sheet or anything like that, because it was not about that. Does that make sense? And then now here we are where I know if anything happens, I could call Monica and like get really real with her and have like these deep conversations. And I know that she will be there for me for anything. And then I have the same relationships with a lot of folks because of the same kind of action. So just to kind of reiterate the connection and the consistency part, and the asking, that is how you can build these relationships that are going to mean way more in the end than did they buy this buy three get one, even though that's important, that we have customers, right? But it can transcend that and be way, way bigger than we ever thought of to begin with.
Love, 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 love. Thank you. Thank you.
Sure.
So with that, I want to go into some numbers here. We're going to open it up for Q&A. And that's what I wanted to say. I was like, I'm going to lose my thought. So just so you know, we are going to let you guys, this is your time. You earned being here. We want to make sure you're getting out of this what you want, to a degree here. Let's not, just kidding. I see you all. No. But the big thing is these numbers. So how are we going to do this? Right. So here's your numbers. You ready? First off, if you haven't done this today or in the last couple days, I honestly don't care about June 1st goals. I want you to, after today, I want you to look at your goals and make 2 to 3 goals, not 70,000 goals. 1 to 2 business goals, 1 personal goal. Because if you're not doing a personal goal along with your business goals, I'm going to tell you right now, your quality of life is going to suck and your business is going to suck. I'm not going to tell you anything I don't like that I haven't experienced myself. I'm telling you this firsthand. You always put a personal goal with that. I don't want you to make 1 million goals. You're going to make, because you're doing 45 days. What are you going to do? And it doesn't have, your goals can be, oh, I want to go, I'm a senior stylist. I want to become an elite stylist. Or it can be, I'm going to ask 10 people every single week. I'm going to hit my numbers. That's a goal. It's an action step as well as a goal. So I want you to really look at that. What do you want to do for the next 45 days? What do you want your goals to be at launch of the actual physical launch of makeup, which could be anywhere 75, 90 days from now. That's my kind of guesstimate. That is not, you're not going to put in any numbers. Don't be like Monica said, and I counted and it was, no, we're not doing that. I see you. I will destroy this recording now. And year end. So that's what I really want you to dig. The year-end one is, where do you want to be at year-end? I want you to visualize that, because if you can't see it, and you need to define what success looks like to you, because somebody like me is going to tell you a very different thing about success. Success to me is that I've enriched somebody's life every single day. Color Street is just a tool to help me make what gets me going and gets me out of my damn bed every day. All right. It's not about the polish. The polish is fantastic, and I wouldn't sell anything I didn't believe in. And without it, I don't get this. This is what gives me life. You give me life. That's huge. So really look at it. What is success to you? If you're having a hard time with your goals, start with success. What does success really look like? Is it, I'm making $200 a month and paying off that credit card that or is it putting that $200 aside so that you're going to pay for Christmas in cash this year? Whatever that is, that's your definition of success. Then do those goals. With that, take those goals and do 2 to 3 action steps from them. What are the non-negotiables to hit that? So if you want to go from one rank to another, that means you're going to probably have to bring somebody on, which means you're going to have to ask. That's a non-negotiable. You can't grow your team without asking people. Fun fact, promise you. Try it, you'll like it. All right. So what are those numbers? So that is big. Success, once you look at what success is, you're like, Mom, this is a lot of stuff. It's not. 2 to 3 goals. One of them should be a personal goal. All right. And 2 to 3 action steps that are non-negotiables, and write those down. Physically write those action steps down and put them in front of you, not just the goals. If you don't write them down, you've increased yourself to 42% chance of hitting them just by writing them down. If you tell somebody it's 65, and if you get an accountability partner, it's 95. You're welcome. Those numbers I looked up too. Okay. But increase that. Those steps need to be in front of you every day. And honestly, every single Monday, I know you guys heard me say this yesterday if you did watch, but I'm going to repeat it. Rewrite them every single week when you're starting your week off for the next 7 weeks. Rewrite them, ingrain them in your brain. That's how you're going to make these habits. These are steps that you should be doing. All right. So you need to be asking. I don't care if you're a senior stylist or a team leader or a national director, you should be asking a minimum of 10 asks a week. Again, referrals, samples. Not, I put a sample post up, that doesn't count. Oh, will you have a nail bar with me? That is not an ask. That is not a number. It is a physical A and B conversation between 2 humans, okay? Verbal, text, across the parking lot, on the phone.
Up in your VIP group is the hope. I hope it works. We'll see. Like the bare minimum you can do, and you still suffered the disappointment, but you haven't put in very much effort at all to just do a post. Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry.
No, that's exactly. So 10, all right. If you haven't started, do this right now for you. This is why I'm where I am right now. I promise you. Consistency and personal development. 5 minutes. You brush your teeth twice a day. You're supposed to brush them 2 minutes a day. That's 4 right there. All right. You pee in, give yourself 30 seconds to pee both times. You pee and brush your teeth. There you go. These are your 5 minutes. Tell me you don't have 5 minutes. Tell me you don't. When you're over there watching The Bachelor, please cry and tell me that no. You know what Monica's given up for the summer? TV. Why? Because I got big goals, girl. I can watch TV next year. All right. It's still going to be there. That's what they make reruns for. Netflix is it's going to be there. DVR it. Like, do you have 5 minutes? Yes, you do. Do you have 15 minutes a day to work your business? Yes, you do. All right. So 5 minutes though of that personal development. And even if you only have 20 minutes to work your business on one day, say, Sundays, I only have 20 minutes, that's my family day, whatever. Okay. Still spend that first 5 minutes doing personal development. Why? Because the next 15 minutes are going to be double as productive as they would be if you didn't take that 5 minutes. You're going to make 15 minutes a half an hour of work. Or you can do samples. I don't believe in multitasking, but you can do personal development because I believe in audio personal development. Either visual or audio. I think personal development books are fantastic. You should listen to them though. It gets into your system. Even if you don't retain as much, I promise you, I mean, with my ADHD here, I re-listen to things over and over. I've probably listened to Start With Why by Simon Sinek audiobook probably 27 times in the last 5 years, because I always get something different out of it. So don't, you can re-listen to a lot of the same things, whatever it is that works for you. And follow-ups, non-negotiable. 10 to 15, because truly, if you are doing at least 10 minimum, you're going to have at least 10 follow-ups, right? But you should have already been doing some of these, or you go back, okay? Go back. And I'm done this recently. I realized that I had 2 or 3 people I sent samples to that I went back to my sample request list, and I'm like, I sent those, but I never followed up. They didn't make it to my follow-up list. You know what I did? I got in my DMs and said, all right, well, your girl here took a little hiatus in her brain and thought she had messaged you and she didn't, and just told them they know who I am. Like, these people are like, I don't want them to be like, I'm perfect. No, but I do want to check with you. Did you get it? What did you think? Oh, I lost it or whatever. I'll send you another one. Or, oh my God, I did try it. I forgot to tell you. I was struck. Whatever it is, just go tell them. Say, oh my goodness, I know it's been like 2 months, and for whatever reason, mom brain fart, whatever you want to call it, you're checking in now. Honestly, we wouldn't do that though. I'm going to call myself out. I wouldn't be doing that and forgetting if I was building that relationship with that person and still working on the connection. I wouldn't forget to follow up about that sample 2 weeks later, because I would have already been in their DMs. I would have already been messaging them. They would have already been in my face. Anybody you send a sample to, you're not going to hound them and be like, I'm in your face, I'm your best friend. Don't be afraid to love one of their pictures and their stories. Don't be afraid to comment, when they ask if you want tomato soup or broccoli cheddar, like, comment. Open-ended things, comment. That's an open invitation right there. They comment on your things, you better respond to every single one. I was listening to Gary Vee the other day. He's like, you want to know why I'm here? Because for the first 5, I think it was like the first whatever years, people thought he was crazy. Every single response, every single comment he got on Twitter, he responded to. Do you know how many hundreds of thousands of comments that man has probably responded to? And now he's a fucking how many million bajillionaire, motivational, whatever, like him or hate him, it doesn't matter. But that's what it was. He connected with people. He built connections. He responded. He showed up. If you are making a post, and I've also been guilty of this, if you make a post and you walk away, it's literally like, you have to go back and respond to everything. It is big. Okay, so follow-ups. I know I got off on a tangent. So bringing myself back, 10 to 15. All right, because I know you have ones you've forgotten. I know that you have ones from the past, or, like, we're always having new opportunities. This month we have a new kit, technically we have a kit with, whatever. Next month we might have something else. You always have a reason to continue to follow up with people that you've gotten a no from. Because even when I get a no, you know what I keep doing? Building connections, because that's what it's about. It's about building your community. That is truly I look at every single person at the end of the day as the opportunity to be part of my life in some way, shape, or form, whatever that's going to look like. That's the way I look. I don't look at that's a customer, that's going to be a stylist. You're going to be part of my life. You're going to be in my world. That's every single person. And you give them that blank, or even playing field. Does that make sense? Did I forget anything, Margaret? 10. So 10 asks, 5 minutes of personal development, 10 to 15 follow-ups. Minimums. Okay. Hold on.
Yep. That's it. And I think, like, if you don't see the results you want based on like your definition of success, you send out messages, you ask more people, you think about who you're asking, if they are the right category of people, or if maybe you need to like rethink who you're asking and look at your frank list in a different way. But like when your non-negotiables are non-negotiable, you're going to say, what do I need to change to make sure that I achieve the outcome that I desire? And if it takes, now just saying, I'm just going to do the minimums that Monica said and feel good about that, then that's great. Do that. But then as you go, I think what we find is it's so much easier if you're doing 10 to 15 follow-ups, then you're like, well, what's three more? I've got a few more minutes. I can do that. And then maybe I'll get the outcome I desire. Maybe I can book that workshop or book that enrolling conversation or whatever, so that you can work towards your success.
Yes. I'm sorry, I'm looking at comments. If you're like, what is she looking at? All right, let's see what we got here. So other outlets, because she said she's bored with Facebook. She liked the idea of the coffee shop idea, in case you're rewatching this. So I don't know if comments show up right. Is there a better outlet? I think you find that. It could be if you have kids with sports, you know, mom groups. It could be coffee hour. It could, for me, I think, I mean, bookstores, Barnes and Noble, little coffee shops like Starbucks there, great. A lot of traffic. I really honestly like the more local places, like local town places, if you have it. Even I say Starbucks because it's just like everybody knows it's a coffee shop. But I honestly truly like the more authentic, like, because then you're going to get the people who live there, right? Like, who comes to the local coffee shop more than anybody? It's people, you know, and you're going to meet people that you can really build connections with, you know. And if you're always there every week, you know, maybe that, make that one of your things. I'm going to do my 30 minutes that I can work every Thursday at that place, even just to put your stuff out on your thing. Like, you're not going to set, like, just have your sets out, you make samples, you can sit there and make samples. You aren't doing anything wrong. You bought a cup of coffee, you get to sit there. Like, change it up. All right.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to
No, go
answer
ahead.
too. I think for, especially in the summer, my business kind of transitions to where I am and where my people are. And I don't know about you guys, but I must have like a different network in the summer because we're in a different routine. We're not at school. We're just doing things differently. But I see that as such a huge opportunity because I get to be with people that I'm maybe not with all year, which is ironic because it's mostly my neighbors, but we do a lot of like summer swim. But if your kids are in summer sports or if they're at summer camps or whatever you do, maybe you have like a wine club that only meets in the summer, or you're with a different small group of friends that goes to the lake or whatever. Use those times and just make sure you always have sets. One of my people I saw, I was in their team chat and I saw her say they were going to a barbecue on Father's Day and she was taking a handful of sets. And then she posted at the end and said, I sold them all. So I think you take that's the great thing about such a portable business. Take your business with you. I always have my nails done. I did these on the way to the swim meet last night. And then everybody that asked me at the swim meet, I said, I did these in the car on the way here because I knew that's such an impactful statement.
And in the summer, even if you don't like, you want people to talk to you and you want them to do you work your nails. If you have a mixed mani on, I bet you 5 out of 6 people are going to ask you about your nails or give you a compliment. And that's a sure win. If you are sitting there wearing a solid or just a glitter, you are screwing yourself out of people. Actually, you know, we're like, they're not actually going to come up to you. You're going to just sit there and hope all day long, girl, because wearing one set is not going to do it. Get out those twosies. If you don't want to open them and you want to be cheap, that's fine. I see you. That's fine. You can be whatever. You need to wear a mixed mani every single day for the next 45 days. That is everything.
With you. Like, have them with you when you go to these things where you know you're going to see a lot of people and be able to show them off.
Yeah.
And then buy them right there. If they love them, they can buy them.
Yeah. Especially if you have, like, that's what I would look at. What do you have a couple of? You know, and bring those with you. Bring what you, because they're going to say, I love what you're wearing. When I travel, I always have usually like 2 bundles, like 2 of that mixed mani. You know, I like to wear like 4 to 5 sometimes when I'm going away and stuff. Excuse me. So that is big. So Chrissy asked about being organized. She says, is there a way besides just jotting it in notebooks and whatnot? I personally do it a couple different ways. I've done it a few different ways. And if other people have other great systems, I would love that to share. I know Brittany, and I haven't truly looked at it, but Metke just put out a follow-up sheet, didn't she? Didn't she just release something like that?
Yeah.
So there is that, an actual worksheet out there that I think Zoe would have made. So there is that. There are some great resources out there. If you look in Team Choose Happiness, I know other people have shared things like that. That's usually, I use my planner a lot. Okay, because I like things color coded. I put like trainings like this in one color. I put my one-on-one or coaching calls in another color. I put follow-ups in a different color. So I oftentimes, like if I've asked, I have my list like on the side, I have like a column. So that's me. And I go through and I like will do little notes about it. But I physically will put their name on the date that I want to follow up to hold myself accountable. All right. You can, and if you're like, I don't get like a desk calendar, okay. Something like this. This is what I used to use, was a big desk calendar. This is my to-do list. This is literally like to do, like what you must do. And sometimes I do that, but I use my planner. I love handwritten too. I do like handwritten, but I know some people are like, oh, I don't know what to do. Make a darn Excel spreadsheet. All right. And then once you've make your Frank's list, type it in there, right? It doesn't even have to be complicated. Make a list. Once you've asked them, you move them to the next worksheet. Okay. Once you've done the initial ask, then you go, you can check off, okay, you asked about a sample, check, put in your follow-up date to ask about the nail bar or whatnot. And then you can, I know some people do it like that. They have like different columns and make it. I've seen those out there. But I personally like the planner because I like to hold myself accountable on that day. Because I lose them. Like I told you, there was a couple people that recently I was like, okay, I need more ass. I'm stepping up my game. I want to recruit more. Oh my goodness, look at my sample, because, and I also, my job form is where I kind of also like, I have a job form for my sample. So if you have something like that, I really suggest it, because that right there will help you with 90% of your samples, if people are filling that out and whatnot. How do you have any others, Margaret, how you do yours?
I use something, I see you guys talking about Excel and spreadsheet and stuff. I use something called Airtable, and it's a free database. And I kind of, let me just say, I have a background in like IT and business and IT. So when I first started Color Street, I was like, I have got to have a way to kind of keep track of my inventory and keep track of my customers and all of this. And I had just built one of these because I did like business consulting before Color Street, but had to quit because I was so successful. I didn't have time for that. But I had just built one for one of my clients. And so I built a Color Street one, and it's free. I can pull all the info. I know it's in Team Fancy Fingers because that was like, I mean, this was 4 years ago, but I still use
Yeah.
it. So I can pull over the info and you guys can get it. It's free to do an account. There's a free app for your phone. It's all free. And then you can kind of, the way I have it is you can set up the customer and then you can classify them as like a contact, which is for me, I mean, define them the way you want. But for me, that's somebody that I haven't sent a sample to, but is somebody I know and I kind of have like on my intent to sample list. And then I have customers, somebody who's purchased. I think I have one for like somebody I've sent a sample to. I have hostess, so I can keep track of all my hostess, but they're all like a drop down. So I can sort by that. I can just see different groups. Then I have lots of I try to leave it really open-ended so I can have like a last follow-up date. There's a place for notes on there, just so I can kind of add in things like that. And then if you see it, don't be it has all the sets and whatever. If you only want to use it for contact management, you absolutely can. Just ignore the rest of those fields. I personally use it to track my on-hand sales as well. So then it integrates with, I'm like nerding out, but it integrates with like how much they've purchased. And so I can sort by like my top buyers for my on-hand inventory and all of that. But the whole point is not to take more time. So if you already have something that works for that, or if you don't care about tracking that, don't say, oh, I need to track this now. You do not.
If technology isn't your thing, you can use the note. You can do it either way. Like make this business work for you. Find what works best for you. Don't make it a time suck just
In the
because
time-
you're like,
yeah.
well, Margaret does it or Monica does it this way. I got to do it. I never want you, like, I'm going to give you every idea. I'm going to tell you how I do it. It doesn't mean it's the best way, especially not for you. Like, I'm kind of an all over like, that's just the way my brain works. Like I'll make a spreadsheet, but then I forget because half the time I'm messaging them and I'm not like, that's just me. They know, like people know if I don't open my DMs at my desk, I ain't never coming back and responding to you because my brain just goes, beep. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible. I know. I know what my strengths and weaknesses are. So Airtable, I love that. I was like making notes. I was like, Airtable, maybe I should look at this. Maybe it would help my brain now that I'm
We
medicated.
have has instructions. Like we have it, the whole database already set up. So you just, and there's instructions where you just make, can you guys go? Where you just make it, you can make a copy so you can edit it and it's your own. And that way you're not overwriting anybody's data or anything like that. But don't fall down a rabbit hole and spend all of your color street time looking at Airtable like that. No, this is only supposed to be easy. It's supposed to
Go
be
ask somebody something. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I love it. Real quick, I did see somebody mention flea markets. We cannot do flea markets. It is against compliance. Just so you know, we have a no flea market policy. I, as who I am, need to actually say that to you. So just know that vendor events are very different. Anything with the word flea market in it, stay away. All right, because that usually means that they meet more times, and then that would be against compliance because you can only do vendor events that meet, is it 4-8 times a year, something like that, a small number. We're not going to get into all that. Just don't be at something that has the word flea in it. There you go. We've done it. All right. Does anybody have any other questions? And you guys can unmute or whatever and ask if you don't want to type it, but were there any other questions or things before we wrap up? You're just making your Franks list. You guys are so good. That's what you're doing. Got your Franks list going. You're like, I'm going to go ask the 10 people now so I can watch damn Bachelor tomorrow, man. I ain't doing this. I'm watching my show. And then that's the thing. If you give up something, it's going to make you want to do it because you're going to want it back. I'm just going to tell you that right now. If you want to do something, like, just go put that out there.
Jen Sikora said, how do you find other vendor events? Honestly, I get real creative with that. Like there is a local business that I really like that has like, I don't know. It's just like a local business of people who've redone furniture and stuff. And they're always pretty busy. And I've talked to them before and they're like, yeah, you could totally set up this Saturday and have a table of sets. So it's not even necessarily a vendor event. I mean, you can search for local ones, but you know, and that's great. That's always great. You can like cultivate relationships with the people that buy them, but don't be afraid to think outside the box on some of these and go to business, like local businesses, and say, I really love to support small business. I shop here. I'd love to tell my customers to meet me here. If you guys would let me set a table up one Saturday for a few hours. And do it like that. You could do that even in a salon and lots of places, as long as it's not a place that has like a vendor event with the same name more than 8 times a year. You can do stuff like that. So I say just think outside the box on those.
Love that. Really quick, somebody asked about VIPs. So a dead VIP, you want to know the number one way to get a dead VIP back? Get new blood in that VIP. All you need is 2 to 3 new people. They start commenting on everything. They're excited about the product. Guess what? Everybody's going to get freaking FOMO and be like, oh, I want to talk to her. What does she got there? Okay, you can do the giveaways. You can go live. You can do engagement posts, not about Color Street. Color Street is the commercial. You are the show. They are buying you. Put you out there. Like Margaret said, people used to tell me, Mon, you could sell air and I would buy it. You want to know why? Because it's coming from me. They bought me. That's it. You need to be confident in that. It's hard for me to sit there and say like, oh, they bought me. That wasn't who I was. I was terrified putting myself out there. But now I look at it and I know that by choosing to put myself out there so that people bought, like they bought me, be authentic. But the number one way to revive a VIP is to get new blood in there. That is it. And if you keep getting new blood in there, then that's going to help it. So make that your goal, getting 5 new people in there in the next 10 days, like if you make that your hard goal and don't, that's the way I used to look at things. Like, I'm not going to bed until I get 10 no's tonight. I literally couldn't sleep until I would make those hard things on certain days when I was doing, I like to usually run when I'm doing like going through my Franks list. I'll do like a 72-hour because that's how I originally was trained on it. So that's kind of embedded in my brain. And I sit there and I compete against myself for 3 days. I sit there, boom, boom, boom. And okay, I got 10 today. Tomorrow I'm getting 11. Like I'm getting 11 no's. Why? Because that means I had to ask one more than the day before. All right.
To piggyback on that, let me just say this might be a hard truth for some people, but if you're relying on your VIP group for sales and you're worried because you feel like it's dead, that is a hope situation. That is, I hope people buy. I hope people buy. That is not like I'm taking action to meet new people and get new people in here and everything else. So just reiterate what Monica said. we don't need to be relying on our VIP groups for sales.
Mhm.
That is a bonus, but that should
Right.
not be the bread and butter. The bread and butter should be the new people you meet, workshops you're having, the way that you're working with hostesses to reach their network. That is the bread and butter of our business.
Oh, and I forgot. I think Holly was the one. She's here, so I'm giving her all the credit. Colleen mentioned that she made her own vendor event. This blew my mind. So basically the concept is you go to like your local like school or sporting club or whatever for kids and make your own, like go to them and be like, I will find the tables and find, maybe 6 or 7 vendors so that you're now getting, and they're going to be doing the advertising. Think of that. Think of what a sports club or a kids team, your kids high school team could like, think of the big teams there, like the advertising that could be done with just those kids and then the connections of the parents and them out. So basically that was so making your own isn't like, I was even like, duh, like I thought of going to churches and stuff like that and local community centers, but going to the schools, especially there, and then they're making money off of the tables. So that's where they're going to make, how are they making their money? They're going to make money off the tables that you're going to get people to sell from, and they're going to pay because it's a vendor event, right? As well as like if they do a bake, like think if they do like the moms and dads, they bake and do like a fun snack table and stuff like that. So they're also refreshments and everything that they can do. So it's blew my mind. Really good. All right. I didn't do it justice, but be creative. They're out there. They're out there, I promise. Yes.
Monica, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm sure I could find this if I spent more time looking through all the Color Street documents, but I went to a different branch of my bank because all of the tellers at the bank in my town already are Color Street addicts. So I went to the neighboring town and the woman there complimented my nails. Of course, I gave her a sample and she had said, hey, we have this table that we let people set up for small businesses. Would you want to take a couple of weeks and do that? And I wasn't sure if that was something that I could do. It's not a vendor event. It would just be like setting up probably like a try stand of.
Yeah, it's not even a retail space. Like there's no, absolutely.
That's okay. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, on that.
absolutely. All day long.
Put it on teller so they'll tell everybody that it compliments them. Oh, it was her right over there.
Yeah, make sure every teller at least has like, you bring them Tuesdays with designs. You get to save those glitter designs right now. Be like, let me just put an accent on you. Even if they don't like it, be like, can I put an accent on you? I'll give you a free set. Whoever's at the window, especially like the window I used to go out and take $100 out every week. I would take cash out literally just to go roll through. Like I could have gone to the ATM. I'd be like, or I'd get money out. I'd literally go and then I'd go deposit it. I got to deposit this, and then like literally once a week, roll through the bank for like 2 years before COVID. That used to be one of my big ones, and just be like, I got to do all this banking. I didn't go to the bank. I do everything on my life. Nope. I sell nail strips. You better believe they're going to be seeing my hands every day. Every day. They're going to be like, why is this woman here again with another $100? You don't need to deposit that, right? She probably thought I was crazy. It's fine.
That's at Chick-fil-A. Asked about newsletters.
Oh yes, newsletters. You mean like for your customers, like what I talked about with the summer? Is that what you mean? Like for like customer newsletters?
I love a newsletter. I think that is a great idea. And I think what I've seen and what I think is the best way to do it is almost like thinking through how you would do your Christmas card, whatever. So that stuff you shared. I know that's usually like a whole year, but share what your family's doing. Yes. Share a favorite recipe that works for that season. Share, if that's your thing, share a gardening tip if that's your thing, whatever your pillars are, and then throw in pictures of your family. I love that Nikki at Nikki Coco, I can't remember her last name, at our leadership said, this is our family business. And I think a newsletter is a great opportunity for you to show off your family and let them know that they are supporting your entire family. And even if you phrase it as a thank you, or even if you avoid that altogether, but have pictures of your family and they kind of infer it and they get that that they're supporting, like, your kids' camp or whatever you're showing pictures of, that's a wonderful, wonderful way to connect with them. And so that they see, you as a whole person other than just like selling nails.
Leslie, did you watch, just in case you didn't, it is pinned. That was one of my big summer tips for your summer, like to keep your business, how to keep, you know, your customers, you know, because they're out, they're not on Facebook, right? How are you going to keep connected with them? And that, I think, is, if you haven't tried it, do it. And exactly that. Like, I think there was other ideas in there, but kind of like week by week, like, and this week we had a barbecue and blah, blah, blah. Or, you know, like, oh, the dog's getting fixed tomorrow. I don't know. Like, you gotta just tell. She's getting fixed. They're gonna do it. They're gonna try it again. She couldn't get fixed the first time. It was a nightmare. What to put in there? Yeah, I would literally think like week by week. Like, just think, what is happening this week in your life? You know, it could be like, have you seen the latest episode of this, or have you watched Obi-Wan, because it blows my mind, and I have one more episode and then I'm officially giving up TV. Like, that's the only thing I've allowed myself to watch. Like, things that you love, whatever you love. I love Star Wars. Sorry, that's it. Like, I'm gonna bring it up. So, or did you go to see this? Or, oh my goodness, I've eaten ice cream 4 days in a row. What, you know, like, just be you. Like, have you ever seen the random shit I put out there? Just be you.
This is Allison. I have a question about how do you guys handle if you have your personal page set to public on Facebook? If you get, you know, rando dudes commenting weird stuff on your pictures and things like that, do you delete them? Do
Yep,
you
absolutely.
like, okay.
I just delete and block.
Just-
They're-
you
they're- most
just
of the time, they're
block
not
it.
even real people.
Right, exactly. It's bots and weird.
Oh, absolutely. That's
Yeah.
the only thing I'll delete and whatever. Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure you don't like respond to it. And then I just was like, I think I should just delete these and not even engage, but I just wanted to see if that's what other people are doing.
Yeah,
Oh,
and I all of my posts public since March of 2020 and have never had any comments that were like trolling. I have gotten some PMs that were interesting, but I
I was
just
gonna say, I
blocked.
get more PMs.
Mhm.
So I guess I have more bold people here in Connecticut. They're just shooting their shot.
Real quick, I don't know.
Take the compliment and reject
I
the
know, right?
Like, I know, thanks.
See,
Don't
the
worry.
Not
good
alone,
is-
Allison. You're
You're
not
allowed to
alone.
look at my
Okay.
pictures.
I made the choice to do it because I like watched a few trainings earlier this year and like decided to do it. Like, it had been private before this year. And so like doing all the trainings and stuff, I was like, I think it could be valuable. And I have gotten 2 new customers since I've been doing the public posting.
See, I told you, try it.
yeah.
You like it.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's a good thing, but I just want to do it the right way and not like make it worse or, you know, be inappropriate, because then other people will see that too. So
No, I don't engage, and I don't engage
Okay.
with anybody. Like, I once had, I remember I put up a post about shopping carts. I swear to you, like the ones at Target that hold like 4 kids in them.
oh yeah.
the little thing. And when you see the person walk, when there's only 3 in the store and you're walking around with 5 kids, and then
Yeah.
one little kid, like a 2-year-old, is sitting in that cool part. And I'm like,
Yeah.
really? Oh, I had a woman like lose it on me over that. And I was
Oh my God.
I'm sorry, we don't do, like, you can
Yeah.
be real. I'm the realist, but like negative,
Yeah.
like, bleep, like, I was
Okay.
like, I'm all set. Like, it
Yeah.
was supposed to be funny. I was an engagement post, bitch. I'm just
Right. It was not, it was
like,
not
can I
for this.
live? She's like, I can't believe that you would even care about something like that. I'm like,
Goodness.
people
Take the
starving in the
joke.
world.
Yeah.
Clearly I don't care. It's just annoying. All right. Cause now I have to hold a lot of hands and grab shit. That's why I wear fanny packs. Everybody hating on the fanny packs. That's why, because I don't get the big card at Target. All right.
Absolutely.
Sorry. Monica's tangent. Sorry.
It's okay.
Any other questions, things?
Hey, Mon, somebody had asked how to keep your strips cool in the
Oh,
summertime.
yeah, I saw that.
So what I do is there are these really cool, they're like ice packs. But what in the actual fuck just happened? Sorry, I think we just lost power.
She has cool ice packs. Let's keep
Cool ice packs. They have little, like, they're either round or like square. And what I do is I freeze it, obviously, and then I put it in a lunch bag.
Yeah.
And
bag. I
Yeah,
don't usually
and
leave them in my car either. I should say that. So like,
yeah, I don't usually either. I
yeah,
try
what I do is I always try to keep my strips in the front seat because of the air conditioning is always the coolest, right? Because I'm dying. So I'd rather wear a sweatshirt and have my AC like full blast in my face so I can breathe. I believe I can't breathe if AC is not in my face in a car. Fun fact about mom, start suffocating. So it's cool up there. And I always usually try to keep my strips in the bag up there and I'll take them in with me. Like wherever I go, even if I'm going and doing a stop at the store, like the grocery store, I will take them in with me. You know, I don't usually take like this many strips. They fit in either, you know, nothing bigger than a caddy, you know, get yourself a tote bag, use your color street tote, walk around with that in your purse, you know, throw it in your shopping cart if you got to go shopping. I do not recommend leaving them in your car. So that, you know, and if you had to for any reason, yes, ice packs I would think would be the best. I have not done it. I am not keeping, I have no responsibility for what happens to your strips on that or insulation, but that would be the best bet.
I do it just because when I'm at the football field, I don't have a ton of extra space to like haul crap. So I do keep them like in my car and I'll go and grab them if I need them. But like sample wise, I just always keep those in my purse and like a little insulated makeup bag type thing.
Yeah, makeup bags are perfect. That's usually where I keep mine. So it's easy to grab. I always try to put my samples easy to grab. So I'm not sitting there awkwardly trying to unzip, like outside pocket, inside pocket, you know. I actually have different size samples. Fun fact, I've made now different size samples to go with different size bags. I have fanny pack versions. All right. I got tote bag versions. They get the full catalog. If I'm using the Never Fall, okay. If I'm using the fanny, they're getting the little like, and that's it. I make it work. And I just know like, okay, I'm going to grab this and always have them in the little cosmo, whatever you're always bringing with you that has your aspirin, you know, like if you have somewhere you have your aspirin or Band-Aids or gum or tampons, like put your samples in there so you make sure you remember them, because I'm the queen of changing your purse sometimes more than once a day, even because I'm like, I have like, it's got to go. It's got to be on, you know, like the bag is way more important than the outfit. And with that, I've forgotten samples in some very crucial moments, especially when I'm wearing those badass mixed manis. So don't be that girl. Oh yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, at the outdoor events, that would actually be a great idea if I would just put out a couple of each and then keep them in a cooler, because you guys have been getting slammed with the heat. I didn't even think of that. Ooh. Ooh. In Arizona, I know. I met somebody in Tennessee from Arizona. I was like, yeah, we have a conference out there. I'm sorry, why? They were like, you're going, I'm like, it's gonna be great. We're gonna lose weight because we're gonna sweat it off. We're gonna be able to eat whatever we want.
Hey, Mon.
Yes.
It's Kelly. So I put this in the comments, but I'll ask it here. So I had a friend who's a former stylist. She left Color Street a couple months ago and she wasn't in our team. She was in another team. And then a girl on her team also left. And so they both pinned my VIP group and their VIP groups and referred everybody to me. But of course, none of these people know me.
Yeah.
None of them know me. So what's the best way to kind of approach all of their customers and VIPs?
Well, if they pinned it first, I would ask them if you could go in their VIP and do a live. All right. So they can see you and be like, hey, and just do a quick 5-minute intro. Like, I'm Kelly. Want you to know you can come over. You know, this is kind of how I run things. I would love to help you in any way, you know, whatever. You know, come over and have fun. I'm going to be doing a giveaway. Like I would also be doing like, I'm doing actually a fun giveaway because we have this new nail care line, which you might not have yet because they're gone. So now you're going to want to buy it all, $50. Let's go. So I would actually do that. That would be one of the things I would first think of. And then once they actually come into your group, you know, and they're not just invited, they're in there, I would PM them. I would friend them and PM them, you know, or at least PM them immediately. And, you know, not immediately, but, you know, within certain time frame. Be like, hey, I just want to introduce myself. I know you shopped with, and let them know that you know, like you see them. Like, hey, I know Caroline used to take good care of you. Just so you know, let me know if there's certain things you love. Like I always love to know what my customers like. So when things come out, if I can grab, you know, surprise launches happen, I can grab for them. So just let me know kind of whatever. And, you know, asking them, kind of introducing yourself in the same bit and showing to them.
Awesome. Thank you.
I actually had that happen recently with a stylist who wasn't on the team. It's Jackie.
I know, I'm
And,
looking around, you could see, I was like, I got her, she's here somewhere.
Yeah. And I did that. I after the stylist let them know, she PM'd her customers to let them know, then invited them, then I PM them. And I've actually had pretty good success where they've already bought during the launches and have been commenting on the engagement. So that kind of ticked the box where you were talking about of inviting new people to your group and having them engage and that helping with everything. So I have had that work in the last couple of weeks, which has been great. One thing I've been struggling with a little bit is getting people to book parties. They buy and they'll refer other friends to buy, but for some reason, it's like they just have this thing about parties. How do you kind of?
We use it when we talk. Do not use the word party when you're talking to customers. Don't type it, don't write it, don't say it, make it out of your vocabulary. Parties is a bad word. Okay. It has a negative thing right now. Right. So that's just want to make sure, like I like assume these things. I always like to say that. So that would be the first thing, is making sure you're not, but if they're referring people to, you're going to tell them that they're getting a customer appreciation link. Like, I'm going to set it up for you because they're going to see the benefits of that. All right. And I do know that in, near future, they're going to be able to use it for other products and the new things that are coming out, and it's going to be huge. And I think the next 7 weeks, the biggest thing is to just try to show them the quality of the product and the quality of you, and that's what it's going to be about. And just don't stop. That's that consistent thing. Like, don't allow all the no's, just keep asking in different ways, rewording it. Like Margaret has given you a new word tonight. I'm sure a lot of you haven't even thought of workshop, like your nail workshop, how to take care of your nails, selling social, beauty social, things like that. I've already renamed even my group. It's Manny's and More. Like, I want people to know, like, so start really talking about that and that kind of stuff. But I would absolutely, if you have any customer refer a friend to you or for sales, they're getting a customer appreciation link. Like, you aren't giving them the option. You're going to say, hey, there is no, like, you need to get credit for this. The next 60 days, like, you're already buying, your friend's buying. I bet you, if you ask your, remember, I know your mom loves them too. Like, and showing them like the benefits of that. And then they're going to think, oh yeah, because once you get them to have 1 or 2 orders on a link, then they're going to be like, well, I already now have it. That's kind of the psychological part. Like, that's the salesperson. I mean, like, once they have already invested 1 to 2 orders, like, that's why I always say a party pack. Somebody's buying a party pack from you, give them a customer appreciation link, because all they need is a couple of those, right? So if you have a customer that buys at least 2 party packs or 1 even party pack a month, they're in that 60-day period. Okay, there's 2. They're going to go out there and look for those other couple orders and get, like, they've already put the investment in there. It's like you're going to lose something if you don't at that point. So a lot of times, because usually these are, again, good customers, people who already like the product. And I think they think it's work. And so you say, I'm just going to set you up with 1. You could share it. You're going to get credit for it, and start there and start slow. Because I know a lot of times that can then turn into a, especially if they're more local, be like, you have this open, we could do a drop and shop. You know what I mean? Like, you can invite people over, 45-minute workshop. Again, don't call it a party. Like, we can have you at a customer appreciation meeting, but we can use that, and you can come over and we can have a quick 40, I know you're obsessed with the lotion. All your friends are going to be too. Like, they can try it. They can come over and try it. We can have a workshop, and trying to build on them. I think that's a big thing right now, is trying to kind of those layers. Have you been offering like the text and messenger? I know a lot of people have been doing that. I'm just curious. That's worked, Jackie. You've been offering those 15-minute ones because people don't have time.
I did try one, and it's kind of a bit of a bust, but
keep trying them.
Yeah. I'm going to
I think that's the big thing. I've heard it's like right down the middle with a lot of people. I've been checking in with a lot of people doing the text parties or messenger parties, the 15-minute ones, I should say. And it's that straight down the middle. And that's, I mean, if you're having 50% of your parties getting engagement and whatever, that's a hell of a lot better than you were probably having a Facebook group and it took you 15 minutes. instead of whatever, plus the engaging, plus.
Oh
the-
yeah, it was so much easier. Yeah.
Yeah, so at least in that, that's showing you, you know, the work, what you're putting into
Even if
it.
you do 10 of those, it's still much
Less
less
work,
work than
right.
one regular Facebook nail bar.
Exactly,
Yeah.
so.
I would say think about what you're excited about teaching or what you feel like an expert on, because think about it, we are all experts in Color Street and Color Street's products to all of our customers. So think about what you're really excited about now. Have you been trying like the slanted French mani or the half and half, or are you loving overlays, or are you all in on the new nail care line? Or, you know, what are you passionate about? What do you feel like you've seen really great results for? And I would like, I love everything Monica said. I would totally do that. So this, I'm adding to that. So do what she said. And then also from a different standpoint, think about what you're most excited to share about, and then reach out to some of your best customers or the people that you've been after to host, like the people that you've always just thought like, I really want to tap into their network, or they would just be so great at this or whatever, and pitch that to them. Say, I love demonstrating how I do this really difficult looking mani in 5 minutes. Can I do a workshop with you and show it off to your friends? Because I know they'd appreciate it. Or
Do this first before you offering because you don't need to be doing bulk orders in your VIP, getting the affiliate links. Do this one. Write this one down, star this one. Do what Margaret's saying first, all right?
or if you're like, I love the nail care line, you know, like I am not a routine person, so I don't do things every night. So the people who are like that already are going to be way better than me, but just thinking about putting nail strengthener on when I do it, or the cuticle oil when I do it, like these are my natural nails. I just filed them down and I was going to get them like dipped or with acrylic right before this came out, but now I'm like, well, I don't even need to do that. So I feel really confident and comfortable talking about our nail care line because I am experiencing really great results and I am really happy about it. And so that is something that I can share with excitement and eagerness to a bunch of people who maybe never have used it before, no matter what their nail background is. That's what we're looking for, you know. So whatever you feel super pumped about, try to book nail bars, or I'm sorry, workshops that are going to cover that topic. And then you can show up with your excitement, with your expertise, and you can share what you love about it.
Yeah, I had a customer in my VIP who was a coworker who was there for almost 2 years and she didn't buy a single thing. The nail care line came out and she got one of the bundles because she wears acrylics, but you don't have to, she was able to use the hand lotion and the cuticle oil and she loved it.
Yay. That's
And show her my
awesome.
picture, Jackie, and be like, take that shit off.
Oh,
and
I posted it.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say, you show that picture, you say, look at this, look at what this hot mess did. I took that picture literally.
Yeah.
I ripped those suckers off in Nashville. I was sitting at the training for those. I think I see Becky was there. Like I was sitting there, this things, I was like, I'm pissed. I looked down, I'm like, this is disgusting. Click. I was like, y'all we're gonna like this. You're gonna like this later on.
I have something to add about trying to pick up customers from a stylist that's left. I was very successful last summer with this, with a friend of mine who left. And what I did is find the influencers in that group, because there's a couple that had parties with the prior stylist. And I guarantee you half of the customers in that group came from those parties. And if you find the one person or the two people, there was 2 people from the prior stylist, 40 people in my VIP in a month.
Oh, I love that. That's of course, yeah. Just go look at the VIP and see who who loves it. Like take 5 minutes. Use that 5 minutes while you're listening to your personal development and scroll and and be the and stalker them out. That's okay. It's okay to be a stalker in this business. I need you to know. If it helps you sell, it's all right. All right. I give you permission to be a stalker. All right. I think we are going to wrap it up. It is getting late. I appreciate you guys. Margaret, thank you so much for doing this with me. I always love your she's that other side of the brain for me. Like, I'm like, dude. And she's like, dude. I'm like, yes. And then it's that light bulb. It's magic. See, and you're never going to find that if you don't connect with people. So go do it. ABC, you got this.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.